man, he's having a good year, then a bad year, then a good year, then a bad year. So Ti is suing his record label Sync. I didn't even know he was still signed to a record label, or maybe I think this is his past record label that he made some of his greatest hits on,
Mhm.
because he's suing over a catalog deal. So he says the label promised to sell him his masters, and his back albums and his catalog at one price, and when he got ready to buy it, they
Mhm.
reneged on it and wanted to sell it at a different price. So what prices did you see when you heard about this? I seen a
The
bunch of
low
different
price.
ones.
That's what I'm gonna say. So the lowest price I seen that the company allegedly said that they were going to sell it. The lowest price I seen was $3 million.
Yeah.
Now the first price I seen though was they agreed to sell it at $15 million, which
Okay.
I thought was fair.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better than three. Three sounds
Crazy.
extremely low.
Mm.
But then he's alleging that now they're talking about they want upwards of $50 million,
Which
which
is
I
crazy.
believe Ti back catalog is worth 50 million. Now Future sold his catalog. Was it Future? I think Future sold half
He's
of his catalog for $60 million.
oh, okay. Half.
I believe so. He sold like half of his catalog for $60 million. Ti's catalog is worth 50 to 100 million. But here's the issue, though. The issue is monetization. So people always talk about wanting their masters and wanting their masters, but it's like, what are you gonna do with your masters? A lot of times, these record companies, they have all of the income streams that can be used
Mm.
to monetize and get that value, which is why it's 15 times more valuable to them than it is than it is being a regular artist. Now you do get passive income off of it, so you can
Mhm.
kind of value what you're gonna pay versus what the income is produced from the actual like the royalties and streams and stuff like that. But it's so many different ways to make money off of your masters.
Mm.
Most people just thinking about the streams on Spotify. No, you got like samples, you
Yep.
got music licensing, you got AI licensing
Mhm.
now. You have
That's true too.
performance rights. It's a whole bunch of stuff that
Yeah.
you get when you make a hit song that people radio, like, it's a lot of stuff that people don't think about.
I 100% agree that Ti, you know, I think that Ti is worth $50 million, upwards of that. I also believe him though when he said that they offered a different number at first,
Yeah, of course.
because the thing is Ti was doing comedy. Let's just set the scene.
Yeah,
So and who knows, what if he was trying to devalue his masters as much as possible, switch industries,
could have
lay
been.
low a little bit. Ti is a very smart person, and so he goes to the way I see it, he goes to the table, say, hey, I'm thinking about buying my masters. They're like, oh, well, you ain't really doing nothing with music anymore anyway. You done grew your hair out. You a whole different, entertainer. You doing a different form of entertaining. Sure, we'll give it to you if you got $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ti got the 15 million the way he gets the 15 million, because he know how to make some money. He has a hit song and it goes everywhere. It's like I remember my mom called me and was like, "You listening to Ti new song?"
Well, what about also he just had that big public win with that lawsuit. So I think
Right,
that
the
could be,
OMG girls.
yeah, that can be a big part. And when you have public disputes like that and everybody know you got money, they want to charge you a little more for things that they would have agreed on 5 years ago. They like, nah, yeah, we need a piece of that 50, 60 million you just got.
So yes, I think it's a I think it's a corporate case of pocket watching,
Of course.
and the idea that, okay, you got a little more, we're going to need a little more from you. And I would not be surprised if Ti wanted to get his master so he could start his own like distribution company, or start his own like, licensing where he can license not only his music but other people's music too. He's getting older. He I like Ti gives me the type of persona that he has a plan for this music. I
Yeah.
don't think he just all of a sudden wants to buy his masters back. I think he has a plan for it, and I think they might know he has a plan for it,
Yeah.
and is going to try to make it harder for him to get the money. And now they getting sued.
And then a lot of times too, sometimes people will be willing to sell assets or sell things to people that they don't think can monetize and get the best out of it. But have you ever had a situation where somebody would do things for a lot of other people, but they won't do it for you because they know you would really benefit from it 10
Absolutely.
times more than the other person?
Absolutely.
That happens a lot throughout our lives, and that happens in corporate America. So companies will sell a part of this company to some third party, and you're like, how does that even make sense? But they won't sell it to, like, they won't sell a piece of technology to Microsoft, for example, because they know
Right.
Microsoft gonna implement it into Windows. It's
Mhm.
gonna be a great product. They're gonna make billions of
Mhm.
dollars. No, we actually want to go sell it to this
Mhm.
private equity firm that don't really know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're just going to try to lever it up, and maybe I can buy it back, because that's what happens too in business. Is I sell it to the party that I don't think can handle it. That party gets wrapped up, they 10-15 million dollars in debt. Now they need somebody to sell it to. Who's the easiest person to sell it to? The person you just bought it from, and you might just make $5 or $10 million just off of their mistake.
Mhm.
I've seen that happen, a lot of
Didn't
times
we
in
talk
business.
about it with Tyler Perry? How if Viacom was to sell BET to Tyler Perry, it would really empower him. He would
Exactly.
be able to do so much more with
They
BET
didn't
than
want to.
anybody would.
Yeah, they don't want to sell. They don't want to sell BET to Tyler Perry.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, because that would make him so much of a power player,
Yes.
and that would empower. That would literally make a competitor. Now he would be a small competitor compared
Mhm.
to the Warner Brothers, Discovery, the
Mhm.
Hulu, the those big players, but it would make him a player though.
Yes, it
And
would.
sometimes you just need to be in the game. You don't need to be the head honcho. You don't need to be the LeBron James. If you're the eighth man on the bench, you still get that championship
Mhm.
when you
You
hit
get
that
that
game
ring like everybody
when
else.
you hit that game winning shot. So they definitely don't want um, Tyler Perry to get that, and this is a situation they don't want Ti to get those masters, because, like you said, that he gonna go do something with it. He already had a bunch of success, or they've been monetizing his stuff so good that they're like, yeah, we had a change of heart. We don't really want to give you this at all.
Mhm.
And they probably sell it to some private equity firm, or AI is AI is changing the game. So maybe they agree before
Before
AI
the
became a thing,
opportunity. Mhm.
and now it's like valuations are different now, because really what you can do, you can sell your whole catalog to an AI company or a private equity firm, and they train all of they train the AI off of
Off
you,
your music.
your music, and say make a hit Ti, make a song sound like Ti. You can sell your name, image, and likeness to a company, and they can do a whole album based off AI. You
And
ain't
then
never got to
have the
record nothing ever,
hologram for the live concert.
and you
They
already
can
got
make a music video for the AI
you
music.
got a built-in fan base.
Can I tell you something? So I'm in a Uber, and there's this song that I've never heard,
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, I like this song. I said, who sings this? Oh, this is an AI artist. I
yeah, they
said,
getting you. They slipping it
I said,
in.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is. I only listen to AI music. This is literally what she said.
that's so weird.
And I said, "Oh, I didn't realize that, there was AI music, AI albums,
Yeah,
um, the certain genres that AI touches, you know, not everybody's going to touch." She was listening to I guess a gospel song,
yeah,
but it was something I've never heard before. And I don't know, like you said, like AI is in the game. Like a regular, like if you have an artist like Kalani, is she
yeah,
gonna make all her money in gospel music? Absolutely not. Is she gonna put one gospel song? But then you have the AI artist who's like,
yeah.
okay, y'all don't, but I'm gonna make whatever I make, because guess what? There is no there's not a whole bunch of money you got to put into AI.
Exactly. There's no guardrails, and then I trained it on some of the best music possible. So, and then like you said, if you do a Ti AI album, and people not gonna know.
They may not. My thing is when she told me that though, I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you
I
don't
don't want to
realize
support AI artists.
you
And
don't
I didn't
realize
want
how
to
many other people or how many other songs you probably heard that was AI.
me?
I'm saying you probably like it start you start to question like
Mm,
who's behind this, what's behind this,
yeah.
and then you got to think about it. If you TikTok or if
Yeah.
you one of these companies, you can just make an AI song go viral. Like Instagram, they can make a sound go viral.
Well, that's true. Here's the thing. It opens up doors. I'm not saying that it's all negative. The girl also said she's an artist, but she doesn't like to be in front of the camera. So she wants to train the AI on her voice. So she actually wants to do this.
Yeah.
To train the AI on her voice, on her style of music, and create her own AI artist. And I'm not invested into that idea, but like as long as a real person is making money off the music and not just these corporate giants who are trying to cut out the artist altogether is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like I don't want Atlantic Records to create an artist, the artist blows up and then all that money just goes to Atlantic Records. You know what I mean? Like there's no artist who they modeled after who gets any of that bread. Nah.
Yeah, and then a part of being an artist is connecting and being a human being and like going through emotions and all of that. And it's like you're feeding this AI fake emotions.
Hmm.
Cause I think it had went viral. They had like made like a YN um a YN like AI song, and he was talking about sliding on ops and shooting and all, and they was
Oh
like y'all
no.
culturally appropriating, but then it's like, well, is that black culture sliding on ops? But people were saying
No,
like
it's street culture.
it's street culture, but then they were saying like, well, this is stuff we actually went through, and like we're just telling our truth and expressing ourselves, whether we agree with it or not. I don't like the music anyway, but they were it when the hip hop industry is not embracing AI at all. So other
And they
industries, like you
shouldn't.
said, the pop is definitely going to embrace it. Gospel, R&B, all these other industries are going to embrace it way before hip hop, and that's why hip hop is actually going to get left behind. A lot of hip hop albums are not in the top 20 and 30 albums, like best selling albums and trending songs, and it's a lot of it's a lot of it's a lot of downfall in hip hop because of things like that. They're not embracing technology. They don't embrace that type of stuff. So we're gonna see. But shout out to Ti. Hopefully he get his money, get paid. I'm always rooting for the underdog in these situations because these big conglomerates they know how to squeeze out a dollar
They do.
and take advantage of every situation.
They're gonna settle. You think they're gonna settle?
Yeah, that's definitely not going to court.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna allow him to buy it back though, because if they didn't have they just could easily just not unless they had a binding contract. I don't really see how. I don't really see how this goes to trial. I'm not really sure. I have to
There's
really
got to
look at
be
the
an
lawsuit.
email trail. I don't think he
Yeah.
would. I don't think he would go to hire a lawyer without something written down that said,
Yeah,
"No,
yeah,
they said they said 15 million. It's right here in the email.
yeah.
They just
So
didn't have it in contract."
yeah, but thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe down to the page below. And if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, I need you to subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.